India has a habit of taking things from other countries and putting its own twist on it. India looked at Sherlock Holmes, James Bond and Ethan Hunt and outdid themselves by creating badass Ravi Kumar.
I hate negativity. And you are very negative.
खून खराबे से मैं भी नहीं डरता.
तेरे शरीर में इतना खून नहीं होगा जितना रवि कुमार एक बार में मूत देता है.
India saw the Marvel and the DC universes and in return created the YRF spy universe, which gave us War 2.
War 2 देखने के बाद at this point in time I am angry and I'm frustrated.
इन्होंने बस एक प्री एग्जिस्टिंग टेम्पलेट पे एक एक्शन मूवी बनाने की कोशिश की है और इसका एक्शन कहीं भी लैंड नहीं करता.
India saw the chow mein, the spring rolls and the fried rice from China and created Chinese idli, gobi Manchurian and even Chinese samosa. Similarly, India saw the concepts of the red pill, the blue pill, the black pill and the white pill emerge in the West and created their own version of it, the Bhosdapill.
जिन्होंने कोई 10 साल में काम ना किया हो.
भारतीय कांग्रेस पार्टी सॉरी आई मीन भारतीय जनता पार्टी. वैसे इन दोनों में ज्यादा कोई डिफरेंस बचा नहीं.
I'm not kidding. This is a real word used by real people referring to a real thing. So whenever you scroll through the internet, you've definitely seen people talking about the red pill, the blue pill, the black pill. It all started from a pop culture reference. Back in 1999, a movie called The Matrix had this one iconic scene where Morpheus gives Neo a choice to take either the blue pill or the red pill. The red pill basically means you'll finally see the truth. Yes, life is tough, but you'll see the harsh reality. And maybe then you can do something to change your circumstances. The blue pill means you don't need to change anything. You can stay in your little bubble. There's no need for a reality check. Everything is fine. Life will continue in your comfortable little bubble till the bitter end. So basically, the blue pill being, the worst she can say is no, and the red pill being,
I'm shooting my second shot of the night. I'm not getting discouraged. I'm just going to keep shooting. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, excuse me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your conversation. I saw you from back there.
Yeah.
I actually thought you were so gorgeous. And I'd be so mad at myself if I didn't come up.
Oh, you're not gay?
What?
You're not gay?
I'm not gay.
Oh, you're kind of tricky.
like when it comes to India, many people believe that the blue pill was India under the Congress, when they believed that the status quo was just fine, where the history books were being distorted to denigrate India's native culture and civilization, where laws were being distorted to unfairly advantage so-called minority communities because it was important to maintain these communities as a united vote bank. And it was important to divide the Hindu communities so as to not let the Hindu community become a united vote bank. Now, thanks to social media and the internet came the red pill. And also, in large part, thanks to this man.
This morning, I got up at night.
Now that opened a lot of people's eyes to the reality. They realized the massive hypocrisies that the ruling dispensation had with regards to the Hindu and Muslim communities. They realized how the history books had distorted their own country's story. They realized how the entire Congress political and media ecosystem was designed to divide, denigrate and demoralize the Hindus. This realization, this red pill, was a major factor in the popularity of the BJP and of Hindutva as a social and political movement. So now we know about the red pill and the blue pill. So who the hell are the Bhosdapillers? Now these so-called Bhosdapillers are basically the Indian blackpillers. And for our YouTube censors and for the parents in the audience, I'm going to refer from now on to the Bhosdapillers as the B pillars. So the black pill represents a deeply nihilistic and fatalistic ideology that emerged from internet subcultures, particularly the involuntary celibate or the incel community. Now, I'm not suggesting that every single black pillar is an incel. I'm just saying that this subculture can be traced back to the incel subculture. And because black pilling is so based in nihilism, a sentiment that pervades incel subculture, where taking the red pill reveals harsh truths about reality, while the blue pill maintains comfortable illusions. The black pill, however, goes further than both. It embodies complete despair and helplessness. The same you must have felt watching Adipurush. The black pill ideology first appeared in 2010s on incel forums, particularly originating from a user called Paragon on the conservative bloc Dalrock. The concept was later popularized on platforms like Reddit's r/brain cells and 4chan. According to researchers, the ideology is characterized by several core beliefs, which is biological determinism, that is, blackpillers believe that success in life, particularly romantic and sexual success, is entirely predetermined by genetics. This includes factors like physical appearance, bone structure, height, and even race. They believe that the dating market is fundamentally unfair. Only conventionally attractive chads can get romantic attention. And feminism has supposedly completely destroyed traditional relationships. They also have a fatalistic worldview. Unlike red pill adherents who believe that once they see the harsh reality, they can take action to improve their circumstances. Black pillars maintain that change is impossible. The black pill promotes ideological nihilism, which is hopelessness, self-loathing, and deep hatred towards society. And if you look at how it translates into politics, the ideology promotes the belief that the system is corrupt and its downfall is inevitable, leading the B pill adherents to seek evidence that validates their pessimistic worldview. And so B-pillers, in the Indian adaptation of the black pill concept, combine the nihilistic ideology with distinctly Indian linguistic and cultural elements. They believe that democracy is a scam designed to give people the illusion of choice. It will always fail because human nature itself is corrupt. You'll see in subreddits people saying things like democracy is a scam. Many people and influencers make this notion popular.
I don't even believe in democracy anymore. I don't believe in any of it.
If voting could change anything, voting would be illegal. Democracy is a scam. Democracy is a system created by those in power to make poor people think you can radically transform your reality without violence and revolution.
So all of this democracy, this is actually the true betrayal of living in the West. Once you understand that you don't actually get to benefit from democracy when it comes to something as simple as choosing who your leader is, once you realize that it's rigged, which we now accept most of Europe is now completely a scam.
Oh yeah, and then you start a sex scam and prostitution business. You see this kind of stuff in India as well.
इंडिया में तो बहुत ट्रैफिक है, बहुत गरीबी है, जॉब्स नहीं है, इंडिया का कुछ नहीं हो सकता, ये सिस्टम खराब है। अरे भैया आप भी तो सिस्टम के पार्ट हो ना, सिस्टम से बाहर थोड़ी हो।
जितने टॉप के मल्टीनेशनल्स हैं, आप उठा के देखो, हर मल्टीनेशनल में ऊपर 2 या 3 में आपको इंडियन बैठा हुआ मिलेगा। लेकिन हमारा देश पिछड़ा हुआ क्यों है? हमारे देश का सिस्टम खराब है। अगर हमारे इंडिया की आज से 50 साल बाद भी यही हालत रही, तो लिटरली सोने की चिड़िया तो बहुत दूर, ये जो हम डेवलपिंग नेशन बोलते हैं, ये भी नहीं रहेगा।
Oh, okay. And what's his reason?
Education system. Leave it.
Oh great, I'm glad I clicked on the video. And it even came down to self-improvement and career prospects. So if you're B-pilled, why even try to better yourself? The system is rigged from the start. There's nothing you can do about it. So the core philosophy of the B-pill is simple, permanent, comprehensive pessimism. No hope, no solutions, no point in trying. Now after the 2020s, and particularly in India post-2024, this ideology has become quite pervasive in certain circles on social media. The COVID-19 pandemic created a global mental health crisis that disproportionately affected young adults and men. Research consistently documented significant increases in depression, anxiety, and psychological distress during lockdown periods. Emerging adults experience especially severe mental health consequences, with one study documenting large increases in depressive symptoms, mean increase of 8.35 points, substantial decreases in happiness, and reduced social satisfaction. Critically, over 25% youth showed serious psychological distress, with 20% displaying probable PTSD symptoms related to COVID-19 lockdowns. And so a decent chunk of those people also got blackpilled. And in India, that results in military and strategic pessimism. Posts often focus on India's perceived military weakness and strategic failures, particularly regarding Pakistan and China. There's economic defeatism, extreme pessimism about India's economic prospects and development potential, dismissing positive indicators of propaganda, cultural despair, rejection of both traditional Indian culture and modern values, viewing Indian society as fundamentally flawed and declining. This is what a so-called Savarkarite account says on Twitter. India is a failed experiment by the British. There's nothing that unites India. Over 70 years since partition, yet India couldn't even settle basic issues like language. The only reason why India has not yet met the fate of Yugoslavia, that is, disintegrated into various parts, is owing to fear of subjugation by Pakistan. There's posts where hate for BCCI turns into hate for Indian cricket. There's posts where UPI, one of India's greatest success stories, is bad because Indian cities are dirty. What does one have to do with the other? Why can't we celebrate the positives that the country has to offer while correctly criticizing the problems with the country? If you have a child and they get great marks in chemistry but didn't do so well in physics, you don't take them out back and shoot them in the head, man, right? Or at least I hope you don't.
अगर हमारे इंडिया की आज से 50 साल बाद भी यही हालत रही तो लिटरली सोने की चिड़िया तो बहुत दूर, ये जो हम डेवलपिंग नेशन बोलते हैं ये भी नहीं रहेगा.
It's a strange, illogical and unhappy way to exist. Some people are saying that the Islamic patriarchy is better than Hinduism because in Islam you get much greater control over women, and that's a good thing. And in Islam, women would be forced to have a relationship with you. People are saying marriages are crashing now because of Modi. Again, people are attacking UPI despite it being one of the biggest success stories of India. People are saying, you know the scariest part of UPI? You just can't feel the money leaving. Digital money is invisible. Cash is heavy. UPI makes 20,000 rupees feel like 200 rupees. Cash makes 20,000 feel like withdrawing from your savings. Technology killed that ouch factor. Listen, I agree, man. You know what the scariest thing about modern planes are? You just don't feel the distance anymore. Wooden ships is where it's at. Wooden ships were slow. Planes make 5,000 miles feel like 50 miles. Wooden ships made 5,000 miles feel like a 50-50 life or death journey. Technology just killed the dying from scurvy factor. People also say that BJP does nothing for its supporters when BJP has clearly helped its supporters out when they have been jailed or targeted by opposition parties. The most recent example being Sharmishta's bail, who was jailed by an opposition party. Then people say, well, India is really not capable of anything. Countries can just attack us and we'll never do anything. Really? What about Operation Sindoor?
This time, if Pakistan dare take any action, and Pakistan knows it, what we are going to do. That's all.
And when you do Operation Sindoor, they say, oh, why did you do the ceasefire? Despite the government making it clear that their goal was not a long, drawn-out war with Pakistan with boots on the ground, the goal was to send Pakistan a very clear message that any act of terrorism will be met with a disproportional, overwhelmingly violent response. And in that, India clearly succeeded. Then people are saying the Operation Sindoor press conference was a complete failure. Really, to describe an extremely professional, detailed, evidence-laden press conference given by the officers of the armed forces as a failure is insane. It's a failure because the B-pillars have decided that it was a failure. They believe that Operation Sindoor achieved basically nothing, despite the government announcing that the Indus Water Treaty is indefinitely suspended, and Pakistan in a few years is going to start feeling the effects of it. Despite the government announcing that the Operation Sindoor is now the status quo, which means any transgression by Pakistan will be met with a response very similar to what India did in Operation Sindoor. I don't know, man. I get the feeling that even if India had nuked Pakistan into oblivion, the B-pillars still wouldn't be happy because they would have complained about the nuclear radiation that is now going to leak into India from across the border. And in some circles in India, the B-pilling has gone to such an extent, like this guy, the final boss of B-pilling. Please just kill us. India just doesn't deserve to exist. Now, while B-pillars may begin with legitimate critiques of Indian political and social problems, their embrace of nihilistic B-pill ideology takes them far beyond constructive criticism into destructive fatalism. Their worldview combines genuine concerns about corruption, social toxicity, and governance failures with an extremist rejection of any possibility of a positive outcome. Now, I want to make something very clear. I'm not saying that there isn't not anything that needs to be complained about or there aren't any improvements that India can make. In fact, I don't live in India, and many B-pillars do live in India. So technically, they do have more skin in the game. So their complaints, their problems do matter. But I also think that the decent amount is not organic and it is genuinely disruptive to the country. Because ultimately, B-pillars play into the hands of revisionist parties like the Congress, which is the final destination of the B-pill ideology. The Congress relies on B-pilling.
हिंदुस्तान का कानून है कि प्राइवेट कॉलेजेस और यूनिवर्सिटीज में आरक्षण होना चाहिए.
Because the ultimate result of B-pilling is division and disintegration. The ultimate result of B-pilling is there's no need for optimism. There's no need to unite. There's no need to follow Hindutva. There's no need to aim for a post-caste unity society. There's no need to aim for strength, aim for greatness, because all parties are the same. Come back to the Congress. Take the blue pill again. Come back to comfortable ignorance. It's the darkest form of nihilism. It makes you retreat into your apparent safe in-groups rather than reach out and join others in a movement. This is what the Congress and Rahul Gandhi are banking on. And that's why I believe a decent amount of this is not organic. Nobody just believes that their entire country should be nuked. Nobody in their right minds believes that the Congress and the BJP are basically the same. A lot of this B-pilling is being astroturfed, in my opinion. There's this attempt to create an atmosphere of complete doom because of Hindutva. This is why these political parties are promoting caste census and promising over 90% reservation, because the goal is to divide and depress. This is why they encourage riots on the streets whenever any reform is passed, whether it's the abrogation of Article 370, whether it's the Ram Temple, whether it's the farm reforms, whether it's the labor reforms. The goal is to stall development, stall reforms, and develop political nihilism in the population. Now they're promoting division among Indians on the basis of language. They're promoting draconian laws like the Rohit Vemula bill that can ruin your life on just the suspicion of discrimination. No proof required. Now they're promoting the widely debunked theory that the Election Commission of India is helping the BJP to rig the Indian election and steal votes away from the Congress. And honestly, it's not going well for them.
Your data was proving to be very useful to Rahul Gandhi, and now you say the data was wrong. Therefore, the inferences drawn by the Congress party were also wrong.
If they were drawing inferences from my data, definitely those inferences will be wrong.
I am really sorry for saying this. इंडिया तो was not just democracy है, जहाँ एक ही वोटर ने 4 अलग बूथ्स पर वोट दिए. जिस इंसान की फोटो हमने यूज की, he did not vote in 4 different places. He was registered in 4 different places.
And why does the BJP need the ECI to rig the elections when they have Rahul Gandhi? And let's not forget, hostile countries have also played a massive role in intensifying these so-called B-pillars. Many of the prominent blue-tick certified Twitter accounts that keep doom posting about India are actually operated straight out of Pakistan and Bangladesh, like Indian Gems run by a Bangladeshi, We Dravidians run by a Bangladeshi, Tarun, a Pakistani, Jitesh, another Pakistani. They're strategically deployed during major events in India to create propaganda, to spread hate, and to manufacture B-pilling. When Article 370 was abrogated, in that same time, around 1,000 brand new Twitter accounts suddenly popped up, all dedicated to spreading fake news and anti-India propaganda. During the farmers' protests, in a very short time frame, a huge number of accounts were created whose main job was to push misinformation against these farm laws. Now again, all of this is not to say that there are not genuine problems that need to be criticized and addressed. Only about 42% of Indian graduates are considered employable. The workforce is split between formal and informal sector jobs. Many people are still stuck in insecure, low-paying informal work. Infrastructure is a serious issue, even in Tier 1 cities all across India. In cities like Pune, Mumbai, Delhi, heavy rains can turn key roads into temporary lakes. There are persistent drainage failures and stalled flyover projects. Pothole-riddled stretches have become dangerous for motorists and pedestrians alike. Certain areas still face repeated power failures. In many places, resurfacing roads without proper milling raises roads above house levels, causing recurring floods. Who can forget about the recently fallen bridges? Government reports show that by 2024, less than 40% of Indian cities had a formal master plan, exposing deep gaps in urban design and preparedness. The World Bank estimates that India needs around $840 billion over the next 15 years to meet its urban infrastructure needs, a stark contrast to the current annual investment of just $16 billion. There's also the problem of ease of doing business. There's also the massive problem of judicial and bureaucratic overreach. Judicial and bureaucratic reforms are two of the most pressing needs of the hour. A major issue is also the problem of freedom of speech, whether it's the Congress or the Communist parties or the Aam Aadmi Party or the TMC or the Samajwadi Party or the RJD or the BJP or the DMK. All of these political parties fall dreadfully short on the standards of free speech that are expected in a well-functioning democracy. Every single one of these parties has misused India's draconian speech laws to harass other political opponents or people that have apparently offended their conservative voter base. The most recent case in point being the harassment of Samay Raina and Ranveer Allahabadia by prominent leaders of the BJP. On top of that, India is dealing with other failures like the SSC scams, the NEET paper leaks, and other scandals that can leave the youth feeling utterly helpless. So these are all issues that are very important to point out and very important to address. But the problem is that the sense of nihilism with regards to Indian politics and the future of India isn't completely warranted. because India has traveled a big distance in the last decade. From a fragile 5 economy in 2013, it has now crossed $4 trillion GDP and is on track to become a $5 trillion economy soon, and thus becoming the third largest economy in the world. In terms of drinking water, as of 2025, over 80% of rural households have functional tap water connections, up from just 17% in 2019. BJP expanded national highways from 91,000 kilometers in 2014 to 1.46 lakh kilometers by 2025, a 60% increase, with projects like Bharatmala enhancing connectivity. When it comes to road construction, there was an original black pillar within the government called A.K. Antony, who believed that an underdeveloped border is safer than a developed border.
As a policy on border, best defense is not to develop the border. Undeveloped border is more safe than developed border.
But look at what's happening today. Budgets for the BRO, the Border Roads Organization, increased by almost 4 times from 2013 to 2024. Nearly 7,000 kilometers of border roads were constructed between 2014 and 2022 compared to just 3,500 kilometers in 2008 to 2014. When it comes to rural roads and highways, since 2014, 3.74 lakh kilometer rural roads have been built under the PM Gram Sadak Yojana, almost double of those built till 2014. Over 99% of rural habitations are now linked with rural roads. The average pace of national highway construction saw a remarkable increase from the baseline 12 kilometers per day in 2014 to 35 kilometers per day in 2024.
India is expected to launch a new national infrastructure plan worth more than $1 trillion to help boost an economy.
India has transformed from power deficient to power sufficient by adding 193 gigawatt of generation capacity. Share of renewable energy sources in total installed capacity has increased from 14% to 32.5%. India's aviation network has doubled with 83 new airports. When it comes to poverty reduction, according to Niti Aayog's 2023 report, nearly 25 crore people moved out of multidimensional poverty between 2013 and 2023. India's MPI poor population fell from 30% to just over 10%. It is one of the largest number of people that have been moved out of poverty. As of 2025, the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana has sanctioned 4.2 crore houses. Over 80% of the beneficiaries are from the SC, ST, OBC communities. By 2025, the government has provided 10 crore LPG connections to below poverty line households. 80% of these went to scheduled caste and OBC women. Refill rates are at 70%, countering the B-pillar line that cylinders are just photo ops and nobody will refill them. When it comes to India's defense against terrorism, the shift is massive. Under the UPA, the strategy was different. Turn the other cheek, which worked about just as well as if Jerry said to Tom that, hey, listen, I'm going to walk into your mouth very, very slowly just to show that I trust you. Please don't eat me. Under Modi, it's different. Under the Congress, terror attacks in major Indian cities were as common as Nepo babies in Bollywood movies. But since the BJP came to power, there has not been a single terror attack in a major Indian city outside of Jammu and Kashmir. Knock on fucking wood. On top of that, India responds to terror attacks by surgical strikes like the Uri strike, like the Balakot strike, like Operation Sindoor.
ये हमारा सिद्धांत है हम घर में घुस के मारेंगे.
The Indian Air Force entered Pakistan and demolished a Jaish-e-Mohammed camp in Balakot. It's been 4 months since. New information which Times now shows that the strike plans...
India struck the biggest training camp of the Jaish-e-Mohammed in Balakot. The government of India is firmly and resolutely committed to taking all necessary measures to fight the menace of terrorism.
For the first time in decades, Pakistan is actually scared of retaliation. The Indus Water Treaty has been indefinitely suspended. Operation Sindoor is now the status quo. Any transgression by Pakistan will be met with another Operation Sindoor. India will not be concerned now about borders. Since 2014, there has been a major civilizational change in India. For decades, people said, Ram Mandir is a pipe dream. It will never happen. But in 2024, it was built. For decades, people said abrogation of Article 370 is a pipe dream. It will never happen. But in 2019, it was abrogated. India is actively rewriting its civilizational destiny.
I am currently in the heart of Srinagar city, Lal Chowk. This Lal Chowk has now become the symbol of the Kashmir Valley as well as of the pride of nation. This is a
massive bike rally being organized by the CRPF as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and Har Ghar Tiranga here in the heart of Srinagar city's Lal Chowk.
Amit Shah has promised that the Uniform Civil Code will be implemented soon. Traditionally, Hindus were divided by parties like Congress into different castes like the OBCs, the SC, STs and upper caste. They often voted very differently, giving space to caste-based parties, making Hindu unity a pipe dream. Just like thinking that FIFA will ever host a World Cup without corruption allegations, or hoping that Jaya Bachchan will be a nice person for 5 minutes, or hoping that Netflix will not cancel your favorite show after just one season. But under BJP's rise, Hindutva became a uniting factor. For example, in 2014 and 2019 and even in 2024, BJP got a huge chunk of the upper caste vote, OBC vote and the SC/ST vote. This shows a new Hindu unity beyond caste, built on cultural identity, nationalism and developmental aspirational goals. So ultimately, this is important to remember. Do not take the B pill. It is important to look at both sides of the story and see the progress that the country has made while acknowledging its failures and while acknowledging the distance that the country still has to cover. Do not fall prey to the inorganic actors who will tell you every single political party is the same, because they clearly fucking are not. Remember what Yogi Adityanath said, and remember that forever. A Hindu can never be pessimistic. A Hindu can never allow themselves to be pessimistic. And in the 21st century, this applies to all Indians. Indians cannot be pessimistic. This is our century, and by hook or by crook or by dragging our bloody stumps across the street, India will progress. And I want to ask you, do you think that India is progressing? Do you think that India is improving? Or do you think that India is destined to be mediocre forever? Have you taken the B pill, or do you still have some optimism left? Let me know in the comment section down below, and let me know how much of this B pilling do you feel like is actually organic and genuine, and how much of it is being astroturfed. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching today's video. Check out more of our videos, the recent video that we did on the Islamization of the UK. I think you'll find that interesting. I will see you for the next video, and until then, take care, and to all of you, a secular pranam.